Hi, Gina Chevalier here. I'm your South Florida Estates and Trust Attorney, and I'm here to talk to you today about planning for children. Now, we're not talking about your estate planning documents where you make decisions based on what happens when you're no longer here, who's going to take care of your kids, etc. What I'm talking about is planning during your life. When you have minor children, you need to travel, or maybe you have newly adult children and they're going off to college, or they're starting to take care of their own affairs, but they need a little help. That's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So first, I want to talk to you about minor children. So what happens if you want to take a trip, have a getaway, you and your spouse, by yourself? You want to leave your kids behind, maybe with a family member, caretaker, and you're afraid, what happens if my kid goes to the park, breaks an arm? Who's going to take them to the hospital? Will the doctors be able to speak with them? Under HIPAA, they probably can't. So what we do is we create a document called a designation of healthcare surrogate for the care of a minor. What that does is it gives somebody that you've specifically named limited or broad authority over healthcare decisions for that child. You decide. Now, if you're like me and you have newly adult children, sometimes they need a little help. I know my oldest, when he was going off to college, needed a little assistance dealing with certain factors. Unfortunately, because he was over 18, I couldn't do that for him. And that's probably the predicament you might find yourself in. So what do you do there? We can create a document called a power of attorney, which will give limited or broad authority for you to act on behalf of your adult child. They would need to sign the document. We also have situations with healthcare decisions for your adult child. Maybe something happens when they're at school. Mom, I don't know, I broke my arm. The clinic is telling me, I need this paperwork or that paperwork. Can you talk to them? Well, no, you can't. So what do we have to do there? We put a designation of healthcare surrogate in place so that you now have the authority to speak to the clinic, the doctor, the healthcare worker, get information that would otherwise be protected under HIPAA, and give information or make decisions if your child has granted you that authority. So if you're a parent like me, I understand that this is an unpleasant thing to think about. But the reality is I get calls like this all the time. Parents are out of town. The doctor's office won't speak to the caretaker. What do I do? We can put these documents in place to protect you and protect your kids. That's the purpose of them, to make sure that if you're not around, somebody can take care of the decision-making, somebody that you trust, somebody that you've given authority to. So feel free to give my office a call, and we'll be happy to set up a consultation to discuss your particular needs and how we can help your family to make sure everyone is protected.